back. Go ahead and say podcast
21.
21. It is the 7th of December. First season shotgun is now over. Hopefully a lot of deer made it through. But second season starts Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, kind of a weird time where you can't really hunt unless you have like an urban tag or something like that.
Shoot some does. I know Aaron's got urban doe tags, so he's one of the few.
Yep, can still hunt right now, so that's nice, but you never know. So it kind of lets you reset everything and kind of regather yourself.
Yeah, put batteries in cameras and get ready for shotgun 2, which I'll be taking Jace out Saturday, Sunday. And Jen leaves for Puerto Rico again, so no hunting during the week next week. And if you look over Jesse's right shoulder, you'll see I got to do gun safe.
Fancy.
Yeah, I can fit all my guns in there, which I don't have a lot, but that's a nice addition to the podcast room. So
yeah. Hopefully, we'll have some changes coming first of the year. So, got some things in the works. Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
We'll be a little bit more involved, and we'll dig farther into that later.
Yeah, you'll see a nice addition come January 1st whenever we drop that first podcast, and hopefully everything works out. But it's kind of looking on the up and up.
Yeah, good stuff's moving in the right direction.
Yep.
We're not quite 2 years into the really getting into the Outdoor X filming and YouTube and pushing out all the other social medias. It's going good.
Yeah,
I'm not going to complain.
It's working nicely. We the team that we have, they're doing a great job. A lot of kills on camera this year.
Yeah. Quality kills.
Still a few that you need to edit. You just uploaded Greg Ryan's.
Yep.
This is the latest. And then you got whose?
Brad killed 2 deer in like 5 days.
In Illinois.
Yep.
With a bow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
And Brad's actually coming to Iowa next year. He was going to come this year, but had some things with when it was time to buy the tags. He was too late, and
yeah,
it was kind of a not his fault type of thing. But he contacted whoever does the Iowa DNR app and contacted them and said, "Hey, when do I need?" They didn't know when.
Yeah,
they were about a week late, and then he called. Anyway, he's not coming to Iowa this year to hunt, obviously, because he would have been here, but next year. Yeah, learned his lesson. And anyway, I guess talking about deer, I learned that one of my deer got shot. One of the deer I had pictures of didn't get shot. He got hit by a car. I don't know which one it is, but he giant bodied. It's where TW summered. There's Phil, and then there's Big 8, and then TD. So one of the three, I'm guessing, big old bases, and they cut the antlers off and take the whole body. So legally, you have to get a salvage tag.
Yeah,
but a lot of people don't do that, or they don't know.
Right, so. And I think a lot more people just see it in a ditch and like, oh, it's dead.
Yeah,
and they don't. Oh, that'd be cool to have those antlers.
Yeah, and then they just go cut them off right above the burr.
Yep. Yeah, if you're gonna do it, you might as well cut the skull. And
if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it legally,
right?
And contact the sheriff or the officer, dispatch, whatever, and get the salvage tag and take the entire deer and go that route. But
yeah,
it happens. It's, I guess we'll find out. I know it wasn't the Big 8, I guess, because I got pictures of him 2 nights ago. So it's one of the other two. But as far as shotgun hunters go, I don't know that any deer in particular that got shot that I have pictures of. Just the one incident that I texted the landowner. I'm not sure that we talked about this last podcast, but I texted the landowner a picture where I shot TW.
Right.
Really nice landowner. And I texted him a picture, said, "Hey, this deer just showed up. I know that they were hunting, and his nephew shot him."
Oh, okay.
Awesome deer.
I think you were.
Yeah,
vaguely had sent.
They were
Snapchats about
big
it.
10-pointer, big frame. The kid was excited, so that's what matters. And the neighbor had some pictures of him, and I think Aaron Hendricks actually seen him on the hoof crossing the road. But solid 165-inch 10-pointer.
Yeah. So most people are shooting it.
Yep. What about you guys? How'd you do?
Worst shotgun hunting I can ever remember in my entire life.
Because of numbers or because of...
There was I mean, we hunt. You went last year.
Yeah.
You know the big, huge properties that we hunt.
Seen a ton of deer last year.
Ton of deer. I saw a few deer, but nothing like 5 years ago. I mean, there's 24 hunters. We killed 10 deer, and 7 of them were from people staying at my house. Me and people staying at my house.
And last year, I think we killed 7 in like one drive.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think we killed like 23, 24 deer last year. This is the first year we've never hit 20.
Wow.
And it was, and I mean, you know, you're going to get some shots you don't miss. You're going to have deer that are going to get out places. And there was, like, I saw bigger deer this year than I have in the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, I saw one probably a couple hundred yards away, Skyline, that conservatively is 80s. And he got out, ran across the road and into the neighbors. And then on another drive, saw a mid-60s and probably mid-30s running together, and the only shot I had was straight down the fence right towards another blocker, and I'm
You don't take that.
not taking it. So I was like, well, maybe he'll turn back in where I can, and of course he went in the ditch, crossed the road, and went to the other side, and just watch him. So
Yeah, at least you've seen some nice ones.
yeah,
That's
we
good.
saw some good deer. I shot a doe, and yeah, I mean, everybody's safe. No issues. Nobody was where they weren't supposed to be. Everybody, yeah.
And
it
we've
was
had
good
this
and safe.
conversation, and I've hunted with multiple shotgun groups, and there are safe ones, and then there's guys that just do whatever they want. And Jason and I had a run-in on Saturday morning of first season shotgun. We woke up, drove the hour to my in-laws, got in the blind. I seen the neighbor that lets guys hunt. There was one guy that always sits kind of by the tall stand on the other side of the fence, and he shined his lights. I'm like, all right, we won't shoot that way. He sees us. He won't shoot this way. And it got light out, and boom, boom, up on the fence line. I'm like, okay, so he must have other guys with him, which is fine.
Right.
And then I hear boom, boom, and they're walking to the west where she doesn't let anybody hunt. I'm like, this is not cool. And there's slugs flying over us. So I see a guy in orange walking back to the other side of the property and contacted the landowners. Like, yeah, they can't be in here. Well, they were. They shot 4 times in her property, killed 2 deer, and then they drove out there in her property. And I went and talked to him and kind of gave him
Yeah.
legally you can't do this spiel. I wasn't very happy, as you can imagine, especially driving, an hour, waking up super early, getting there. Hopefully Jace could have an opportunity at a deer. Then they go and they do that. So that's not, I'd say you guys are safe. You do all the respectable things that, you guys have been doing it for years. You have all the permission. Then there's other guys like these guys that just, hey, I'm going to, one time a year, I'm going to go do what I want. Fence lines.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate. And I'm well aware that our group is the minority in shotgun hunting. Like it just is. And that's probably why it rubs me the wrong way when I hear it getting bashed so bad, because I'm like, that's not us. That's not us.
I think you're the smaller percentage of the entire
for sure
group.
I mean, we're the minority in it.
Yeah, there's the weekend warriors, which is fine. That's
we
how I got
warriors.
started.
We have weekend warriors that go with us.
But you're safe.
Right. And I mean, like you went last year, I mean, you're a grown adult, and we were like, you sit here.
Yep.
You
Deer
can
coming
shoot
here. Yep.
You can't shoot there.
And then when we walked, and I've done this with the church group that I used to go with, you're whooping and hollering, so you know where they're coming. It's not like
you're not being sneaky when you push.
Right. You take your shots.
Yep. Straight
that
forward,
are safe.
Straight back.
Yep.
And that's it. And you're in constant contact. It's whistling. Hey, on the left. Yep. We're good.
And honestly, looking back, at the deer drives, it's almost probably better you don't have a gun when you're pushing, because there's very few times that I've ever had a shot at deer when I'm pushing.
Yeah.
Because I'm super loud and I'm pushing. And
some farms there's farms where I've killed more deer pushing. And then there's farms where I'm like, I don't even see a deer.
Yep.
Like we push behind my uncle's house. It's so thick in there. I bring it. It's on my shoulder.
Yep. But it's a pastime, and I don't think Iowa will ever get rid of the whole
No.
shotgun season. Maybe they do something with party hunting. I don't know. I could see it going either way.
But honestly, I don't think they need to. And I'll tell you why. 10 years ago, we would hear so many shots. We never heard more than 2 shots in sequence the whole weekend.
Yeah.
That wasn't our. I think it's just going away.
It's going away.
I think it's
Right.
it's weeding itself out. You either have lands changing hands, and they're not allowing drives. Some people we've talked about this. I'm probably not going to take my kids party hunting ever.
Right.
I mean,
It's our generation that is filling that void of we're not, taking anybody else party hunting.
Right.
It is going by the wayside. Like you said, I won't take Jay's party hunting. We'll go sit in a blind over a food plot, or sit in a blind and let people push to us.
Yeah, and I mean, as long as I'm healthy, I'll do deer drives till I'm 80 years old.
Yep.
I love the 2 days.
I enjoy it too.
It's a blast. But it's not for everybody, and it's not how. It's just different. If you've never done it, I mean, don't knock it till you try it. Not everybody needs to try it, but do I consider it the same as bow hunting or muzzle? Or absolutely not.
No.
It's just fun.
It's different. Yeah, it's a different
And I
level.
shoot does 90% of the time, and I'm one of the few that you let them basket racks run by. I mean, you let a good buck run by on my uncles, and that's just it. It is what it is, but I think it will weed itself out in the next decade.
Yeah.
You still have the small groups that go, but in general, I think
the overall population, at least here in Iowa, the gun hunting in different states, we can't speak for that, but Iowa definitely is on a downward trend. And it's not just downward because of our generation. It's also because youth. There's hardly any youth out there. And I try to take one kid a year. I took Big Jace for the last few years. Now I'm taking my own son, so I got my hands full, but it's just a lot of kids, their dads don't hunt or their uncles don't hunt, so it's trying to introduce them into the outdoors. And like hunter safety, we used to where I work now, we used to have a class once or twice a year. Now we don't have it because there's not a need for it, which is it's sad is what it is. So maybe we can do some I don't know, maybe the DNR needs to do something different with trying to get those youth hunters out there into the woods.
I mean even there's so many options, and there's, you don't have to deer hunt. I mean, it's turkey hunting, it's dove hunting, it's trap shooting.
Yeah,
it's just trapping.
Yeah, trapping. And that's
fishing.
I started, before I even deer hunted, I started trapping. I used to
because
go
your grandpa did
with
it.
my grandpa, and I had so much fun doing it. And that's where I started. Then I started shotgun hunting. And my uncle's like, hey, you can bow hunt. It's like, really? There's other things than shotgun season?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And that's just a progression. And there's actually a kid in our group. His grandpa used to own 2 of the farms that we hunt, and he passed away this last summer. And his grandson's trying to get into bow hunting a little bit, and he's borrowing a bow that doesn't quite fit him, and this and that. And in the last 40 minutes before I left, we were sitting there all talking around, me and my uncle, and he's got one train of thought. And I got it, I'm like, I was a bow tech for 10 years. I'm like, here's kind of what you need to do. Hey, shoot me a message, find me on Facebook, whatever. Here's my phone number. Call me. If you got questions, I'll help you.
Yep.
I mean, I love that. I mean, he's older. I mean, he's out. I think he might be in high school. He's in high school still, because I think his profile picture is him in his basketball uniform. He's that's apparently a pretty good athlete from what I gather.
That's nice that you're willing to help him. And I had a similar conversation today with the landowner where I shot my big one. Mm-hmm. I went and we helped the DNR pick up CWD heads. So I got some tags and went and talked to him and picked up a couple doe heads from him for CWD sampling here in Dallas County. And I told him, he was talking about his nephew and the one that they shot and his other nephew. And I said, what we need to do, if he's going to go late muzzleloader hunting, we need to set a blind up on this fence line. I have a couple blinds and I'm willing to go put up. You just let me know. You talk to them, because I know from the past, this is where the deer end up.
Right.
And hopefully we can, I got 3 blinds in the basement. We can go put one up for him and stake it down and hopefully help him out.
I mean, it just makes it's one of those, it can go 2 ways. It can either they get too into it and you're out from now on, or they look at that as like, well, I may not be bow hunting, or I might not hunt early.
It could happen that way, but this particular landowner is super nice, and it would never. But in other instances, it could definitely happen.
Right.
I know where you're coming from.
So and I'm like that with my uncle's taking a youth hunter. He's had a youth tag all season, nothing during youth, nothing during early muzzleloader. Didn't go out first season shotgun, so he's going to take him second season. Well, you go to the farm, you just sit on the blind over the food plot that we did all the work on.
Yeah.
But I also have to go, you know what? It's not my farm.
Right.
It's helping a kid get into the outdoors, you know.
Hopefully he gets one shot and he gets introduced into it, and
Yep.
who knows?
And then he may only, you know, and I think this might be his last year actually youth hunting.
Okay.
So I mean, he's a little bit older. I mean, I don't know, all the kids that age kind of look,
Yeah.
they either
Yeah.
look 11
We're getting
or
older.
18. So yeah, that's coming up, and my oldest daughter still has a tag, and me and Jenny were talking about it last night, and I'm like, I don't think she can even go second season. We are so busy, and she is so busy with cheer and gymnastics.
Yeah.
I don't even think we're gonna have time to go.
So maybe late muzzleloader. You can
I might get her out of school early next Friday and go sit,
sit, yeah.
but we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know.
Jace is not at the point to have basketball and all that stuff yet,
Right.
But it's coming.
Yeah.
So we can try to sneak out. Like last night, we snuck out and shot under one, unfortunately. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll try to get out as much as we can. And if you can introduce a youth into the outdoors, I would say definitely do it. And it's not just you taking them. It's, hey, if their dad has questions for you, like I got a guy down the road, it's like, hey, what should I do here? How do I do this? And gave him a code to get some blinds. But I told him what I would do if I was in his shoes and I had the property with the food plot and a blind. That's becoming more popular in the last 10 years than before.
Yep. Instead of pushing, someone has permission, they can sit somewhere,
Yep.
and it's, it affords a completely different opportunity.
Yep.
And like helping people, like I think we talked about in the last couple of podcasts, we get messages quite a bit, either on our personal stuff or on the Outdoor X page, like, hey, I'm trying to do this or I'm trying to do that. And, what do you think about this deer, or what do you think? And I can give you what I might possibly do, or here's some ideas, and, and you hear the success stories, and it's awesome. And,
Yeah. And I love that, that aspect of it. Cause I just got one, I think yesterday or the day before, a guy shot an really nice 8-pointer and he wanted to share it with me and how we got it. And so it's always cool that people follow along, and
right.
so.
Nope, I agree. So, but yeah, you still have your bow tag going into late season.
I do, and I contacted. I've only leased one property ever, and the guy that lives in there is just, I got him some cameras. I've been super nice and professional with him, and just, every time I went in there shed hunting or I took my son Jace, I would call him and say, hey, is it okay if I come? His dog would follow me around. Well, I just called him the other day, and he was complete, flipped a 180, not a very nice guy. But, hey, man, out of respect, I could walk through the chisel plow. I could drive right next to your road. Like, out of respect, I want to ask you permission to walk through there so I can hunt the west side. And he just went off. I'm like, well, I don't know what's wrong in your life right now, but and then he just went off on a tangent. I'm not going to do that, over a deer. I'll go hunt somewhere else.
Yeah.
He thinks it's his property and his ground, and he sold it years ago. And it's like, look here, dude, like, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Just the headache.
Some of those battles aren't worth fighting.
Yeah. And he's obviously has some issues and he needs to resolve those, but that's his problem, I guess,
Yeah.
If I want to walk through chisel plow half a mile to go hunt, I will, but I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had a few of my target bucks show up that I know made it through first season. So yeah,
You'll have a late muzzleloader tag.
I got a late muzzleloader tag, so I'm kind of gearing towards that. I screwed my back up in early November, and it's never been good. And then right before shotgun season, man, it went out bad, and I've been icing it, and we have a hot tub.
Did Mitch have to carry you around?
No. It was once I got moving, it wasn't so bad. But today's the first day I feel like semi-normal.
Really?
Went to the chiropractor and got adjusted, and I have a portable TENS unit I put on my back, and I'm getting around pretty good. So I think either tomorrow or I don't know if I'll do it this week. I need to talk to my uncle, see if he's going to take the youth hunter out, but I need to pull the hot fence around the corn.
So you get some help doing that.
Yeah, I need to get the fence puller from you.
Okay. It's
before
in the back of my truck.
before I leave. So make it, and a lot of it's just walking around. It's about 2 acres, acre and
Yep.
acre and a
Did
half.
you just put the spade just in the ground?
Yeah, I mean it's only in maybe 12
Yeah, this
inches,
thing would be
8
easy.
inches.
Yep.
You know, something I can probably easily do. And it's warm. It's like 55
Yeah,
degrees.
it's supposed to be. Well, it's 62 out today. Tomorrow's supposed to be 57.
So yeah, as long as I get it before it freezes, if I go
Yep.
midday and do it, it shouldn't be a problem. And the problem is there's like 70 T-posts in it. It's a big fence.
I'm telling you, you'll be able to just pop them and go to the next one and do that kind of thing. But it's
and I'll just drive my truck around and just
throw them on the back.
pull it, throw in the back. But I got to walk around it 5 times to pull all the ribbon first. But
Yeah, it's gonna be a exercise. You better have your steps on.
yeah, it'll be a 5-6 hour ordeal probably. And but you know, I walked in there like 2 weeks ago, and I would say 95% of the stalks still have ears full of corn on it, and I'm just like, all right. So get that out.
That's good. Hopefully, you have some deer show up late season.
They've been trickling in. I haven't really had any big shooter bucks show, but I've had one. That Big 10 I almost killed the day before I shot my 8-point with my bow. He's been around. I got word the big 4-year-old. He broke a couple times.
That's
so
good.
it makes me way easier to pass him because I still to this
Instead of 180, he's 155, 160.
yeah
Two broken.
as a 4-year-old with chances of being
He could be something special next year.
jumbo typical, and it made
He could also get his antlers fixed if he comes out.
Could also find his sheds.
Could also find his sheds. Yep.
So
Different scenarios. So you have some good deer to hunt.
yeah, and then that Big 10 on the farm I'm buying showed up
That's good.
last night. Had pictures of him after dark.
Not broken at all.
Nope, he is.
Very similar to the other the 4-year-old, as frame wise.
Frame wise, just doesn't have the tine length on all of them.
Sometimes when you share the picture, I'm like, which deer is that? It's one of the big ones, but
yeah, the 10 on. I think he's actually like a 7x5. A couple of the points won't score, but yeah, he looks smaller now. But I have pictures pre-rut, and he's big sway belly. And,
yeah,
you know, he's 5 years old. I got pictures of him, so he's
run down from the rut.
Yeah, he's probably the number one target. It's just will he show up?
Yeah,
and then I got a buck that Dylan and I both have pictures of that got gored on the face, has like a giant scar. I don't know what's going on with it, but I haven't really had a bunch of pictures of him, and I think the farmers actually hunt it second season, so we'll see.
Is that chisel plowed?
No.
Oh, that's good.
They haven't touched it.
Wow.
So
you have 3 farms with really good bucks on them, so you
yeah.
can kind of pick and choose.
Yeah, and I need to move
move
some cameras around a little bit, but I don't want to mess with the farmers and make them upset going out there and doing that. So we'll see. 2 of them I can pretty much do whatever I want. The third one I can too. I just don't want to impose with the farmers because they're nice enough to give us permission to bow hunt all year long. I don't want to mess.
That's the ones that I graduated with.
Yeah,
their sons.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep.
So yeah,
super nice guys.
They're great guys. We never have any issues with them. So it may just be one of those I'm just going to have to sit. You know, if I don't have a consistent deer on one of the other farms, or maybe hunt a few times and just sit.
And if this weather pattern continues, I mean, it's like I said, 62 today, December 7th. If you look on the outlook here in central Iowa, December 21st, it's still like high 40s.
Yeah.
So White Christmas probably out the door unless we get a cold front coming.
Yeah, we Jenny and I were talking about we want to do a trip to Branson. She's like, yeah, like 2 or 3 days before Christmas or 2 or 3 days after. I'm like, can we wait till like a few days so we can like get the forecast?
Yeah,
because if we got a cold front coming in, like that is going to determine what
killer.
I do.
Yeah,
because I killed my muzzleloader buck last year on Christmas. That buck that you filmed me tiny, like how 10 years ago, was on Christmas that evening. So I like a Christmas buck. But
if we get that, like you said, a cold couple days during Christmas, it is really good.
Yeah, and I just know you have till the 10th of January, and there's spots that I'll hunt because deer are still moving. But man, when it gets cold and they have to go somewhere, that's when you sit on the green.
Yeah, and that's as far as, so you got some solid deer to chase. I got pictures of the 2 8-points with broken brows this morning. They're nice. I'd shoot them. They're both mature. One's real framey, and then the one at Jeff's. He just showed up one day and hasn't been back.
Oh yeah, he's a good deer.
Yeah, he's a solid deer.
But I've said it 437 times. If you eat that tag, I don't feel bad for
I
you
know,
one bit whatsoever.
right.
Shooting a 196.
I don't
and
know
then
that
a 155. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad
if
for you.
If you look at it that way, right. But as far as filling my statewide tag,
Right.
I'm not sure that I've ever not done that. But yeah, I've had a great year.
But I mean, you also filled your landowner's tag, which would have been your statewide.
Right,
tag.
it would have been.
So I mean,
right now I could be if I didn't have all
you'd
that.
been tagged out.
But yeah, something could show up there. I'm not, I doubt it, but it could happen.
Who knows?
With
Something
this
get pushed in
shotgun
second season.
Yeah, there's a guy across the road last night hunting when Jason and I were there. Then the other farms, I think the GoPro's dying on us.
Yeah, we're trying something different. So we got 26 minutes into it, which
And
isn't.
the battery probably overheated
And the battery got hot, and
on the GoPro. But
so
anyway, so I have a couple other bucks. I'm not sure that the one with all the stuff in his rack, if he's still around, but that's a good spot for the morning sits during late season if I catch him coming back from the corn. But nothing really, I mean, on radar. Jason and I, coming back from his hunt last night, I hit a doe on accident with my truck. Now when I turn right, my tire rubs pretty good. She didn't make it, but we almost hit a buck too, closer to the house. And it's a buck that my buddy Josh has got pictures of all summer, and he's a solid deer. He's probably 60s, real close to it, if not a skosh over.
yeah, maybe shuffle
5x6.
shuffle some cameras around, see
Yeah,
if you can't
and
see where
then
he's popping out at night.
He's hanging out with a 9-pointer that came by this morning. Super tall deer.
The one that I saw last week.
Yes.
That deer's big.
He looks good. And I have, it's kind of funny. I have a mount in mind that I want to do that my uncle has done. And my cousin Briar, he makes the back, it's like, when
backpack
mounts with the height all rolled
Yeah.
up in the head. So he'd be perfect. Scott, in a little bit, buddy. Scott said it can't be a wide deer, so this one would be perfect. Real tall and narrow. So we'll see. I got some options, but who knows what'll happen between now and then. So
Right.
Jen might go late muzzleloader. Jay still has his tag, and then my father-in-law will be going sitting in the blind when it gets
Nice.
cold. So we have plenty of options. Hopefully some deer get shot, and
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
Fun. Another month.
Yep.
About 35 days, and deer season's over.
Right.
Which is crazy.
This is very weird.
We live for those 3 months, and then we hate it when stuff ain't working right. We're ready for it to be over, but it can change really
Right.
fast.
We got some guys on the team that have been just struggle busting, but
And
they've
it
been
happens.
working their butt off.
Yeah.
Schrappy's been really grinding it out, and
Hunting
who knows?
constantly.
Yeah, he could. He's got a urban tag, and then he's got a statewide too. I think he could.
Yep.
He could late season miracles. You know.
I mean, if I was him during second season shotgun, I'm grinding in the city because you can hunt with a bow in the city limits during shotgun season. And then as soon as that opens up, I mean, I'll do everything to help him. If Sophie can't get out and hunt, I may try to get him on that big 8-pointer on that farm I'm buying. There's 2 of them out there.
And then Dylan's also kind of helping out with.
Yeah.
He's taking Mitch. He's taking a few guys. So it's nice seeing that interaction on that side of things with our teammates working together.
Yeah, trying to help each other out, it may not be as simple as, hey, here's my private farm, go hunt it. But it's like, hey, I got a couple spots that I know don't get hit very hard, whether it's public, whether it's private, whether it's permission farm, whatever. But, and that's what it's about. Like, I mean, we're all in
The
it.
camaraderie is so cool to see everybody interact and talk, and they have their own, hangouts. And one guy shot a deer, and 5 guys showed up to help him look.
Yeah.
And I really think late season it's going to be pretty cool. Hopefully we get that cold snap. And I got my money on Dylan to shoot a big one.
Yeah, he's usually on them late
He's
season.
usually got some
He's got
bomber ground, and
he's
if he's listening to this, nobody tell him.
Yeah.
But he can use my smokeless muzzleloader if he'd like to. I know the type of caliber of deer that he's going to be hunting. So
Yeah. I offered it to him. I offered him mine. If it's like, if I get tagged out and you want it, come on and use it. So
it works.
Yep. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yep, it works. And the last 2 deer I've shot with it weren't very far, but
Yeah.
it will reach out.
Yep. Yep. They're definitely investment, but man, they're good stuff. So.
All right.
Well, knock out a nice, easy, short 30-minute podcast, and hopefully one of these times we've been trying to get a couple team members in here, but everyone's
tough.
schedules are so busy, and
with it's getting dark now at like what, shooting lights 5:15
like you can
or
shoot
something
to like
like that.
5:15, and that's
Yeah,
it.
it is.
It's tough.
It's kind of sad.
It is what it is. I mean, it's the time of year, and the days will start getting longer again, but we need to hit that winter. We need to get snow.
Might not get winter.
We need to get some snow, and we need to get some cold temps until January 10th, and then I don't care what it does.
Nick is ice fishing right now. It's North Dakota. Nick, who we had on the pump.
Yeah. I don't like it that much.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I want to go over to Zach's Pond again and ice fish, but they're shooting geese off of it yesterday.
Yeah, they got a double band.
Yeah, double band from like 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
It always amazes me
in
how
Alberta
old,
or something like
It
that.
always amazes me how old some of these waterfowl
It's
get.
cool. I love that.
It's neat. I wish I did it more. I wish I had more time for it.
Yeah, we kind of put the whitetail up on a pedestal, and that's all we kind of ever do now.
Yep. I love me some turkey hunting, but deer are king.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, we'll get out of here, and
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys.
thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
If you have anything you'd like us to talk about in particular, go ahead and leave a comment, all 20 of you. Did I hit the right one? All right. Take care.